I don't really mind the rain. It washes away.
Hi, this is YC. Welcome back to my channel, YC Cooks and Bakes. Tonight I am going to be making zucchini bread. And the recipe I chose makes 2 loaves at one time. Just you don't have to double the recipe or anything like that. The recipe as it is makes 2 loaves that you divide your batter between the 2. And I hope that you give it a try because although it may have some downfalls like flour and sugar, which you could use probably almond flour, it has a lot of good things about it too, like the zucchini and the walnuts are very healthy for you. And of course you have to leave the skin on the zucchini when you shred it because that's where most of the benefits are. And walnuts offer a lot of benefits with the omega-6 and omega-3, and they're really good for your memory. So if you can have nuts, that would be fantastic because this takes a cup of walnuts. So I thought I would bring you along to make my loaves of zucchini bread. We've already finished our dinner tonight. It was just, a simple Friday night dinner. I just, corn on the cob and just fish and onion rings. The onion rings were Nathan's. You've seen those before at Walmart. Okay. So, what I like to do is tell you where I get the recipe from, and if I put my own spin on it, I tell you. Or if I completely turn it into my recipe, I tell you. If it comes out of a book, I give credit. So this one here, I printed out, and I got this from All Recipes, and it's called Mom's Zucchini Bread, and it says by V. Monte, M-O-N-T-E. She says it's really, really good, moist, and the kids eat it quickly. And you know how kids are with sometimes zucchini. It would be good if they could eat some of this. So that's great. And so I will show you how I do it. I already tried it out a few weeks back, and it was very delicious. I didn't have walnuts at the time, but tonight I do. And of course, it's you spray your loaf pans, or you can grease them. That works too with Crisco. And you set your oven at 325 degrees, or you can that's degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you're using Celsius, that's 165 degrees Celsius, but it's 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And your loaf pans, as long as they're like an 8x4, like a meatloaf pan, you do 2 of those. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, it calls for, in this recipe, it calls for 2 cups of zucchini. Well, I'm not going to shred a whole bunch of zucchini and then just measure it up. I'm just going to I've decided that I'm going to use 2 zucchini. Okay, that's what I've decided. And I've already washed them. Now, one thing I'd like to say very quickly is, and don't matter if it has nicks and stuff on it, because this was under plastic in a pack at Aldi. And and by the way, zucchini, why zucchini? Well, because each cup of zucchini provides 40% vitamin A, 14% vitamin C, 13% potassium, 10% magnesium, 9% vitamin K, 8% folate, 7% phosphorus, 7% B6, and 5% thiamine. And why is that good? Because it's good for your vision and your immune system. And who doesn't want a stronger immune system right now, right? So if you're going to make breads and take the time to do that, make it healthy like zucchini. Okay. So the one thing that I want to mention though to you is to wash your zucchini really, really good before cutting the ends and stuff off. So many times I'm watching people's videos and they'll start cutting on stuff and then they throw it in the colander and wash it. What are you doing? You're taking the outside and cutting with that knife right through to the vegetable. So and then you're gonna wash it. Well, that doesn't hardly make any sense at all. I see people cutting up all kinds of stuff like that. Peppers, especially, things like that. You have to wash it first, then cut it, because that knife, as soon as it hits that outside and goes through, it's on there. I'm just saying what I noticed, but you know, if you're willing to take that chance and you like to do things a certain way, you have a way how you do it, you do what you do, you know, that's up to you. I'm just saying. Take it for what it's worth. Okay, now, what we're going to do is, what I do, or what I did last time, was I use the side that you use to grate cheese. Okay, and we're just going to grate this. Is everybody noticing the cooler temperatures? It's a lot cooler now in South Carolina too. And we've been lighting the kerosene and everything, trying to keep it a little warmer than, and it's like what I was telling someone today. It's either really, really hot here or really cold. It's like there's no happy medium. See how quick this shreds up? I mean, really fast. Yep. Now, don't think that by eliminating, if you can't digest nuts, that's one thing, but don't eliminate them thinking you're going to save calories. Because even though a cup of chopped walnuts is 766 calories, when you spread it across 2 loaves of bread, and each loaf is cut in about 12 slices, each slice is, let's see, it's 255 calories. So if you just eliminate the walnuts out of that, like your slice that you take, it only brings it down to 223. You're only saving 32 calories. Well, the benefits, the good benefits of walnuts far outweigh 32 calories. They're the good kind of fatty acids. You want these walnuts if you can have them. So don't go wiping them out. It's just not worth that. By the way, they keep in the fridge for a long time, and you can freeze these for several weeks and they're still good. But they're going to be so good, you're not going to need to do any of that. They will go really quick. See, that's done. Now just do the second one. I do these first in my bowl because so I can put this down on the, I mean, you could put your flowers and everything in first, but then you're going to have to do a separate plate or a bowl for this, you know. So I just start off with this because it's a messy job and you get it out of the way and it all goes in the same bowl anyway. But I will make sure that I put this recipe in the description for you so that you'll know which one I did, because there's a lot out there, you know, and I want you to know which one I thought was delicious and successful, that my family really enjoyed, and I've tested it. It's very rarely I'll show you a recipe that I don't test already. Getting down there. It's almost at the knuckle buster stage. Almost. One thing that I notice about the zucchini bread is how moist it stays. It's not dry at all. It's like really moist. Okay. This is where I start making a mess, right? Okay. I don't want to clang it on the side of the bowl. Okay. It is Pyrex though. But still, you do that enough times, it's gonna. Now, let me just wipe my hands on this napkin. Okay, so this is obviously, it's probably more like 3 cups of shredded zucchini. I don't care. I'm using 2. That's what I decided. So, now we're going to start off with our ingredients. And I'm just going to dump them in right on top. So this is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay. And then the next one is a teaspoon of salt. And then we want a teaspoon of baking soda. And then it's a teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, and then it's supposed to be, because there's 2 loaves, it's supposed to be a whole tablespoon of ground cinnamon. I could tell you right now by looking at mine. Let's see. We'll see, but mine's probably gonna be more like a teaspoon, but because I'm at the tail end of it, and it's gonna have to go on my list because it's getting really scant. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some because I like, whenever we have chops or something, I make like an apple crisp, and I use a lot of cinnamon, and we use it in oatmeal and stuff. So it's just a little bit more than a teaspoon I have, but the recipe, just so you know, and I'll put it down, does call for an even tablespoon of ground cinnamon. And I take this, I'm gonna put it upside down. That's how I do it, so I know that it's dead now, and it has to go on the list. Okay, and then let me see. I'll just kind of mix this just a little bit, because what I have to do is put 3 eggs in it. Okay, we got, I have a carton in the fridge, and this one was at the tail end, so I just put 3 in it. Okay, like that. Et toi. Okay. There we are. And then we're going to use, I could probably put it in at the same time, a cup of vegetable oil. You might think, well, that's a lot of oil for breads. But you should see they use that, and sometimes even more, for carrot cake. And you know how moist that is. Another item that has sometimes nuts in it. Okay. So those are your liquids on top of the dry ingredients. And the next thing we're going to do is sweeten it up with some sugar. Now the other liquid we have too is vanilla extract. That will be going in here. And you might think, oh my gosh, I'm stirring it and that's a lot of zucchini. No, it bakes up really nice. You'd be surprised. You'll surprise yourself if you've never made one before. That mixed up fairly easy. So now we're going to go ahead and put in the 2 1/4 cups of sugar. That's what you know, I know you want to watch your sugar, but, you know, you could use the equivalent, not that, but you have to do the math for erythritol if you want to use something. You can use erythritol, which is not, if you're going to use the almond flour and, you know, go the healthy route. But with the holidays coming, I say leave the sugar in because it's natural. And then you don't have to eat the whole bread. Have your slice after your supper. Call it your dessert. You had a nice slice with your coffee or your hot tea, and call it a day. And then it's not so bad that way. You might think, oh, but this makes 2 loaves of bread. And, you know, you're not going to eat 24 slices of this by yourself. Of course not. Or you make it for company and put out a platter of sliced bread, you know, really nice this time of year. And it doesn't have icing on it. It doesn't have cream cheese and all that in it. So you gotta weigh it all, you know, figure it out what you want to do and not do. And you could actually even try it with half and see if you like it. And then if you say, oh, you know, I don't really like, it's not sweet enough, then you'd probably have to add icing to the top or something. But I mean, if you want to try it with less, you could. Or just use 3/4 of that amount. You know, you have to experiment. That's what I do. I experiment. Okay. All right, what's next? We want 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And I'll be lucky if I can get that out of here. This is that time of year I gotta start replacing all my stuff. But that's okay, because, you know, Christmas is going to be coming after Thanksgiving. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And 2, 3. And I actually still have more in there to make a cake or something. Okay, and that's it. The last thing we're gonna fold in is the 1 cup of chopped walnuts that I purchased at Aldi. And just so that you know, I bought 8 ounces in this size bag that you get in the baking section, not the nuts when you walk in the door of Aldi. Those are expensive. You have to go to the baking aisle down on the bottom row, and they're $2.85 a bag, which isn't bad. Now there's another big bag there that I think it has purple on it. That's $4 or $5. Don't get that, because you're not going to need that much. You know, you just get this bag, and it's only $2.85, which isn't bad for walnuts that are already, you know, out of the shell and chopped for you. Okay. Now you just have to stir this. You know, you don't have to take out your beaters or anything. And there is raw egg in it, so don't eat the batter. You know that. You're going to want to, or your kids are going to want to. Smells good. It really does. Okay. Let's see. Let's fold hold those in now. Let's get your, we're going to do a cup. So, now remember, this is 8 ounces in weight, not 8-ounce cups. So you have to still measure it, you know what I mean? Measure it. Because I guarantee you, you're still going to have some left to throw into cookies or something, you know? There. See? Still got like half a bag left. Alright. Can't wait. This is going to be so good. And, what's nice about doing this at night is you'll be able to have a slice with our coffee in the mornings, which I'm probably almost out of. Running out of everything. It's just, gotta get this, that, and the other. You know how it is. There, I think this is good enough. I think it's mixed good enough. And let me do this. I don't know if I'll probably have to, use that to scrape it. Let me pick that up. And what I'm going to do for right now, I'm just going to use this and put the equal amount in my pans so that I can get them within reason, about almost the same. And you can see, like I said, I sprayed them. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. And then I'll do the same with this one, you know. Just keep going back and forth. That's what I plan to do. I'm already making a mess. You have to make a mess in the kitchen. If you're not making a mess in the kitchen, well, what are you doing? What are you making? It's not good if you're not making a mess. Okay. That's my philosophy. Alright, here you go. And they'll rise because remember you put the baking powder, baking soda in it. Right? So there, see, they're already almost the same size just because the way I'm doing this. Now, let's get the spatula. And we will finish off. There you go. See? And this one. So we have two like that. And I'm just gonna, because they're small, I'm just gonna use my toaster oven. And let's see. We put them at they bake for 40 to 60 minutes. It depends on your oven. And mine might be different tonight because I'm using a small toaster oven, a smaller space and high heat. It'll probably take a little less time. At a great big oven, especially an old one, will take probably a whole hour. And it goes, like I said, it goes in at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. But I will put in all the information that you need in the description. And I hope that you give the zucchini walnut bread, that's referred to as mom's zucchini bread, a try. Because it's really moist and your family is going to love it. And the walnuts and the zucchini are so healthy. So I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you have a great night. Bye-bye.